Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 12th episode of the Wired Up Podcast. I hope everyone is having a good day. Hope everyone is enjoying Halloween so far. Happy Halloween to everyone that is watching or is going to watch in the future. But for this guest, I have got the American Dragon, the guy that has recently won the TBW Hardcore Championship against Joe Anderson. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Atomic Freakin Titan. My friend, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the respect. But also, I wanted to make clear that the American Dragon is dead and is no longer around. I killed him at All Hallows Mania.
Well, there you go. So, obviously, I'm going to ask you the first question I've asked every other guest, and that is, what got you into backyard wrestling?
What got me into backyard wrestling was back in high school. I've watched it, on YouTube. And me and my friend at that time, we decided to start up our, own wrestling promotion, TBW. And basically, it's just what we seen on the internet, and we came up with that idea after a local promotion shut down here in our town, and that's what got me into backyard wrestling. I loved everything about it, and that's how I pretty much got into it, was because of my buddy, and all my friends wanted to do it, so that's how I got here.
Okay, so you were one of the founders of TBW?
Yes.
All right, well, let's talk about that. What made you want to grow TBW into basically what it is today? Tell us the story about how TBW started and to what it is now.
Okay, TBW started, like I said, we were in high school. We started recruiting people, like some of our friends, and we went from there. To what made TBW into what it is today? We had season one. It was a good start. We really didn't know what we were doing at that time. Um, then it went on to a couple seasons. We almost shut down, actually, after the second or third season. Then we decided to give it another try. And during the pandemic is when TBW really started to take off after, some help from people that, came along and everything. And it's all a teamwork job, from everybody that's at TBW to make it what it is. Everybody plays a part in making it what it is, and I am thankful for that. And I wouldn't be, hardcore champion if it wasn't for all those people.
Well, there you go. Now, as you actually mentioned the Hardcore Championship, let's talk about your match with Joe Anderson at, I believe, Hallows Mania 3. Let's talk about that match. How did you feel going into it? Did you expect to win the Hardcore title?
No, I did not expect to win it. Beast, if you're watching, you gave me that opportunity. I took it. You said it was my last opportunity. I wasn't going to let you down. And then he let Jacob Young in it. Jacob Young came into the match. I asked him why. He said because it was a special event. You know what? Jacob Young brought the darkness out of me. He tried for weeks and weeks, and I said the light always prevailed over the dark. But then I came to realize that I had to do what I had to do to get this title. This is the only title I have not won in TBW, so that makes me a Grand Slam champion now. So I want to thank Beast for this opportunity, but I don't want to thank these people that watch TBW because I did it on my own. They were calling me a failure for months because I couldn't get the job done. I couldn't beat Ledger. I couldn't beat Gage Flair, and I could not win a championship, but I had to do what I had to do. And now you can call me the hardcore king, the hardcore icon of Tennessee backyard wrestling, and this title is not going anywhere at all. So people's just gonna have to love it. They have to get over it. All these people on Instagram, they want to talk. They want to say they're gonna come and do this, come and do that. Well, show up and actually prove it, or keep being a keyboard warrior on the internet. And just sit on your couch, be lazy, don't actually show up. But I dare you to come and do something, but you probably won't.
Well, there you go. Now, as you actually mentioned earlier about people complaining on their stories, someone specific here has came to the chat, and that is Joshua Allen, and he said, "Oh God, if this morning could it get any worse?" Now, I did see on Joshua Allen's story that he is not too happy about you winning the hardcore championship, and neither is Manny Cobra, and I believe Xavier Thorne. Now, what are your thoughts on everyone? What are your thoughts on everyone commenting about you winning the hardcore title?
Joshua Allen needs to get his facts straight off. What I'm saying, he's the one that turned on me back 2 years ago and kicked me out of the industry. My group that I created and brought back in UWA when I wrestled over there. But all Josh keeps doing is running his mouth. He wouldn't step face to face in the ring and do that to me, because last time he stepped in the ring with me, I was kind of blind to all of this at that time. I turned around, I got hit right in the head when I was going up against Ledger at Vendetta. Now, on to Xavier Thorne. He don't have no business being in the ring with me, because I've already defeated him 3 times in a row.
3 times.
First time was at UWA. Now, what happened there? See, I was the Heritage Champion. It's obviously champion's advantage. My foot was under the rope. The ref reversed the decision, and I walked out still as the Heritage Champion. Now, then he showed up on TBW, the season premiere this season, back in March. And I beat him fair and square there. I helped him win the PWF Uprising Championship earlier this year. And there's no thank you about that. I guided him to where he is today under my wing, and all he does is want to talk trash. But you know what, Xavier? I would actually like for you to show up and prove it to me that you can actually beat me, because what I did to you in the Resurrection Wrestling Revenge Rumble earlier this year, I threw you over as soon as I got in there. You thought TNT was something special, but I guess it's not. It's over. That's what you claim to say or whatever, but, I'd like for him to come and prove it. But he's going to have to earn an opportunity against me for this title. But on to Manny Cobra. Where has he been? He hasn't been nowhere. He lost this title in less than 2 weeks when he held it. He's nothing. Nothing to me. I have nothing to say about him because I beat him before.
Okay, fair enough. But as you mentioned earlier,
I will say something. For the people that actually respect me, Jason Storm from ROEW, the people that actually see the light, I seen the light. See, that's what I was talking about all along. Him and everybody else that wants to actually, congratulate me. People like ATK, them people, I respect them. They respect me. They bow down. They get on their knees. They bow down to the king. Now, the other people, they need to learn respect.
Other people. Now that you actually mention ATK, next year in 2024, you are confirmed to be a part of ATK's Wrestling Federation, KTW. How do you feel about going to KTW? What do you expect to go into KTW with? And How do you feel about basically being a part of it in general?
Well, I gotta do every other federation I go to. I go in there, I take control, I win championships, is what I mean by that. And I'm at the very top. Like I am TBW right now. I should be the world heavyweight champion as well. Also, don't forget, I am the welterweight champion as well. It's a backyard wrestling. I can take on anybody. That belt can go anywhere. If someone wants to face me, they can. But KTW, if it so happens, if I come, I think I am confirmed for a few places. I'll go in there, like I said, win championships and prove people wrong.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what you did at Hallows Mania 3. You've proved people won by winning the hardcore title against Joe Anderson. And now Joshua Allen has something to say. He says, yeah, some guy you are. You left the company that made you a household name for 6.5 years. I've eat, sleep, breathe Tennessee backyard wrestling, and I will until my last breath. What have you got to say about that? It seems like he really has got a problem with you being the hardcore champion.
He's boring. Anyways, let's get on. Let's just say this. Yeah, I did leave TBW. I had to go out and venture on my own. I went and created my own federation, which is no longer a thing anymore. Because some personal things, but that was called Pride Wrestling Federation, and most of the UWA guys are on there. Were on there. Then I went to BCW, which is a fed also here in this town. It's no longer a thing no more. I never wrestled there, just a few promos. Then I did venture off to UWA. Had a pretty good run there. Had a shock the world when Captain Law and Jake Howe were, going at it at the main event of whatever that event was. But
I think I know what event you're talking about.
And then I did go on to win the Heritage Championship and against Jake Howe, thanks to Cody Flores. And then we recreated the industry. We kidnapped CJ, and he finally came back, took down the industry. I was gone at that point. I left, hopefully on good terms. But besides that, I'm back in TBW. It took me a year to get championship gold again since I left. I've not held gold in TBW since I was world champion in 2021. And that was a spectacular run. I did amazing things. My former friend there, Joshua Allen, was my manager at the time. So we did a lot of things as world champion. We had the industry there. We had Max Chaos, Anthony Steele, Matthew Joseph. We had a great stable going. Up until I lost the world title, things got a little bit too complicated there. Joshua Allen turned his back on me like the snake he is. And I faced him at Backyard Chaos. We went on to do the Painmaker versus the Demon Prince. So I beat him at Backyard Chaos, and that's the end of that story. We haven't had nothing since to renew that rivalry. So, yeah.
Well, there goes for you. But yeah, Nat, you mentioned earlier about not winning a title since 2021 up until your victory against Joe Anderson for the Hardcore Championship. But before that, you were in the TBW Intercontinental Title Tournament, and unfortunately, you couldn't capture the title due to interference with Gage Flair's manager. Let's talk about that. You went up against Gage Flair, and I believe it was a roll you tapped him out, but the referee didn't see.
Yeah.
Then Gage Flair got you in a figure four, and then you tapped out. Then you got your rematch at, I believe it was called Summer Bash.
Summer Bash, yes.
Summer Bash, yeah. And unfortunately, you couldn't get the job done. And I was just wondering, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you've gotten over it now that you've won the hardcore title, or do you still want to get revenge against Gage Flair?
I wouldn't say it's over yet. There's still more to tell there. I was this close each and every time to be
close.
This close, but it was due to shenanigans every single time that I lost. I did beat him at Anniversary. That wasn't for the title. Come to Intercontinental Super Special. I was holding up the title at the end of the night. The ref reversed it because his foot was under the rope, and the match restarted. He flare busted me, pedigreed, and I wasn't victorious there. So I thought I would give it one more shot. Beast gave me one more shot against Gage Flair. That was at Summer Bash. That's when I was tapping him out in that submission match. Ref Carter was pulled out of the ring due to Johnny J. Ref did not see it. Once again, I turned around, get locked in the figure four after the flare buster. Wasn't victorious.
Unfortunately not.
It's not over. There's a lot to prove there. But what I did at All Hallows Mania by low blowing Jacob Young and submitting him and taking this, that's what I should have done at Summer Bash, is do that. I should have not been blind to that, and I should have done what I said I was going to do, like what I said I was going to do with this. And that was beat Gage Flair, but I never, unfortunately, the American Dragon couldn't get the job done. That's why he's no more. But I don't think it's over. There could be more to it. You'll just have to wait and see. All the fans will. There could be something else.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, with this new side of you for Atomic Time, do you feel like you have now got a proper chance against Gage Flair in a match?
I believe I do. But once again, Johnny J, he needs to watch himself. He's pretty much cheated every single time for, him. But if it came to be, yeah, I believe I would have a proper chance against Gage Flair once again if it happened, another match. So I'm waiting. I sent a shot at All Hallows Mania by saying his line. He says I didn't say it correctly, but learn to love it. But that's a shot right there at Gage Flair if there ever was one. So I hope you're watching this, and I hope you're listening very carefully. Because I will, come back, whether you are the Intercontinental Champion, the World Champion, not a champion, I don't care. I need to prove that I am better than you.
Well, I mean, I believe that you can get up to that point, but let's just, for the moment, you are the hardcore title, and obviously you want to focus on your title run and you want to hold it as long as you can. But I want to ask you, how long do you want your hardcore title reign to be for?
This right here will be mine forever. Unless something happens. Like something I don't expect. Like someone, screw me over or something. But I plan to keep this forever. Like I said, I am the hardcore icon, the hardcore king of TBW, and nobody is going to take this away from me. Joe Anderson, there's no rematch clause because you don't deserve it. I can chair tote you, so I just expect you to be still sitting in that hospital bed. Also, Jacob Young, I don't think he'll be coming back either because he got hurt pretty badly by the hands of Atomic Titan. I believe he will not ever want to step back into the hardcore division at all. So I'm taking up any challengers that want to earn an opportunity against me. And you know what? I might just do that. Next episode of Rampage, I might do an open challenge against anybody that wants to face me for this. But that's the only opportunity. It might not happen. It just depends on the night and the mood I'm in. So
Oh,
Like
we'll
I
just
said,
have to wait and see.
it's gonna be mine forever.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see on the next episode of TBW Rampage. But obviously, you say you want to hold your hardcore title reign, well, pretty much forever. But is there anyone in mind that you want to defend your title against? It could be anyone from TBW or anyone from a completely other federation. Have you had any people in mind that you would want to face for your hardcore title?
There is some people that does hardcore, I would say. I could say some people from EBW Breakout, possibly ESW. Maybe me and Jack Delta run it back this time for the hardcore title.
You and Jack Delta.
Maybe Dalton School, any of the people from BYCW, some of them. If he's actually cleared to compete, I would go up against Manny Cobra, but I'd obviously beat him again. Anybody else, wants a shot, that wants to earn it, down to face whoever. I'll prove that I am the hardcore king of TBW if they step in the ring with me.
Well, there you go. There's a couple of people that Atomic Titan will look forward to facing for his hardcore title. But so we've talked about people that you want to face for your hardcore title, but we haven't talked about people that you want to face in general. So basically, dream opponents. Have you had anyone in mind that you look forward to wrestling, and you had a look at their wrestling and be like, there's someone that I can get good chemistry with? Is there anyone that comes to mind?
There is a few. I would say CJ Black,
CJ Black,
Storm, Jacob Prodigy. I always watch him. Austin G.
Z.
I would have to. I don't know who else. Honestly, I'm trying to think. There's
Just
a lot.
mainly the ROEW guys.
Yeah, ROEW, ESW guys right there. Red Dark X, I think is his name, from EBW Breakout. He's their world champion.
Red Dark X, yeah, he recently won his world title.
Another one, Gunshot's been talking a lot of crap lately. Probably.
Gunshot.
Basically, I mean, that's pretty much it. Who I would want to face. There's a lot of people though out there. I've already faced like some of mine that I've actually, went up against. I've went up against Delta. He was on Rampage 146. I believe I faced him at 147. I faced Derek Destroyer. Aaron Blaze is one of them that I faced.
Aaron Blaze.
That was on a PWF episode. It was filmed at the UWA arena. There's a lot of people I see interest in. Jake Frost. RJS.
Hey. It looks like Joshua Allen has also got someone in mind. Atomic Titan versus Hardcore Kid Alex G.
Possibly.
Alex G.
That'd be interesting. If I could ever make it to ESW.
If you can, yeah. I mean, never say never. I mean, Jack Delta got up to ESW, so if Jack Delta can get to ESW, then possibly anyone can. But yeah. Now, obviously, we've talked about people that you've wanted to face for your hardcore title. We talked about dream opponents. But let's talk about the opponents that you've already faced. Now, let's say who, out of everyone you've faced in your backyard wrestling career, who would be like your favorite opponents to work with?
Gage Flair, Joshua Allen. Let's see. Little Mike. Obviously, Jack Delta. We had one match. Jay Wild's on that list. The Prophet, Jay Wild. Let's see who else. I did like that match with Efren, Derek Destroyer. I've been trying to get him back down here for 2 years, but that hasn't happened yet.
Hmm.
Let's see who else. Andrew Clay, he's a good competitor. Russell
Andrew
Cooper,
Clay.
Russell Cooper, good one. TBW. What's that one guy's name from KPW? Purple Claw. That guy, he owes me a match. I don't know if you know him or not. It's a federation that I
I've heard of
tried
him.
about 2 years ago because he wanted to attack me from behind. But James Taylor, that
James Taylor.
James Taylor, um, he owes me a match. Yeah, at the top of my list, I gotta say Gage Flair. Honestly, he's took me to my limit. I would say Joe Anderson too. We've had I think 3 matches now in TBW since 2020, so that's pretty good. Jacob Young's up there. He's good. I can name off pretty much anybody. People from the past of TBW, I would say El Diablo. He hasn't been on there in a while. One of my opponents from the past, I would say maybe Mayhem, Redneck Mayhem, or Fat Asian. Fat Asian, we always one of my favorite opponents. That's pretty much it. I mean, I've had great, opponents over the years, but
Just whatever works.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So obviously let's talk about your backyard wrestling journey. Now let's talk about your first match that you've had in backyard wrestling. How was it?
It was shit. It was episode 1. It was against Andrew Clay for the U.S. title. We didn't really know what was going on. I'll be honest. Camera work wasn't that good. We had no ring. It was just literally straight ground. Surprised we didn't get hurt because honestly, those days were pretty rough back then. But but one of my, going on past that, I would say when we really got the hang of it would probably be around, season 1 near the end of it, yeah, but then really around season 4 is when, we really started, taking it more, serious level of production and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's first backyard wrestling match is not going to be their best, so it makes sense.
It wasn't the best, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't go into backyard wrestling and expect to have like a massive debut. You gotta
unless you've already been trained or something, or for a while and then go to another company and just obviously just debut right there, or or that's just your first match. You know what I mean? You just absolutely blow it off. I've seen that happen from people just have their first match and they be like really good, but that wasn't the case for me. But,
it's like you got to work to it.
Yeah.
But so we've talked about your first backyard wrestling match, but let's talk about your favorite backyard wrestling match. So out of all the times that you've wrestled, what would be your number 1 favorite match that you have had in your career? Actually, let's talk about your least favorite too. Your favorite match and your least favorite match.
My least favorite, I'll start off with that. It would probably, I'm not sure exactly. There'll be a few probably. I'm trying to think because this is a hard question to get me right there with it. One of my
take your time.
Least favorite, I don't know. Probably I don't know. It might have to be one of the Tennessee Classic matches that I did. Maybe against no. I think my least would probably be against Hillbilly Deluxe. episode 10. It was when we like first started that match. It really I almost got hurt there, so it was just like power bomb and stuff that happened. It was pretty nasty, but I would say my favorite. There's so many out. Like, there's so many though. My favorite. You're always better than you always have to be like saying whatever the saying is. You have to be as good as you're good as your last match. My favorite match recently that I've been is like it was All Hallows, but another one if I'm thinking back in time, I'll just name off a few. Some of my favorites are one with season finale 5 against Little Mike. That ended a chapter right there. That rivalry for good. He hasn't been back on screen but one time since then. But we had a long history since the very beginning of TBW. Another one would be Backyard Chaos against the Painmaker Joshua Allen. That was a strap match. Another one would be. It would have to be that Intercontinental Super Special against Gage Flair. That one. Another one would be Anniversary 4 against Big Mac and Beast for the TBW when I defended the TBW World Title. Let me think. I would say the State Classic when I returned to TBW last year. I had a blast facing Jay Wild, and like near the I think it was the semifinals. Yeah, because I made it past the first round. That was really a test right there. I will say another one of mine. It was probably a PWF match. I have 2 PWF matches. One of mine would be against JC Lee at Fall Brawl, and the other one would be episode 5 of Uprising, I think against Sammy Slade. If I had to pick a UWA match, it would be me versus Jake Howell for the Heritage title. It was at Hell Frozen Over, that event. There's been so many I could think of. I've just enjoyed. I would say I enjoyed Vendetta against Ledger. That was a good one. I was really close to winning there. I feel like I get better in the ring every single week. I'm in there. I do something, something different, which I try to my best to improve as a performer each and every week. Whether it's on the mic or in the ring, I always try something new. I wasn't able to even master a splash without hitting my feet until literally this year. So just the people that, helps train and stuff, we're self-taught, but, still we try our best.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that's some of my favorite matches I've ever had. It's been a wild experience, crazy. I love TBW to death. It's been my life since 2017. Whether I've left and came back once before, but it's what I've always looked forward to, and I love doing it. Backyard wrestling is all I love to do, and it's honestly fun. I mean, a lot of people understand it the same way I do, that it's an escape. It's fun to go, like to these places like Resurrection and make money, but it's not about that. I would go professional if I could, if I wanted to, but I just love backyard wrestling. I love having that creativity, that freedom, and having fun with friends. It's honestly a blast. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I mean that's the whole point of backyard wrestling. Just is a whole new experience really.
Yeah. And I love that people go out there and travel and do this, like people like Delta, Captain Law, all these people. It's I met Captain Law before. He was actually on PWF. He did a job. Delta, he's a great person, really great person. I enjoyed it, working with him. He was here for a whole weekend. That was an awesome experience with everybody. And I will say he's the best outside performer that's ever came to TBW, and would be glad to have him back sometime in the future. But yeah, I mean, I respect those people that do that traveling and stuff. I know you're probably
Hmm.
far away. You'd probably like to do it too, but here
Yeah.
here in the States, a lot of people seem to do that, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I enjoy it a lot. I've
Hmm.
always liked doing that and going out there with friends and do that. It's always fun. You have the freedom to do that and all that. I've been through some training before, but it didn't go well, so that's pretty much how
Hmm.
TV started as well. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would definitely like to travel, but there's not really that much backyard wrestling feds over here in Australia. So trust me, if I was in America, I would definitely travel.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Um, there,
yeah,
there's some over. I don't. Are you a part? Which ones are you in? Are you?
what federation?
Yeah. Are you?
Oh, I'm a part of BWDU, Backyard Wrestling Down Under.
Okay.
Which,
Yeah.
yeah, like we're recently gonna get started. We've just been trying to get the first episode out.
I didn't know if you've been one of those that I can't think of their name, but yeah, I think they went like professional now.
Oh, do you mean MXW?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, MXW.
Yeah. I've watched them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they are. I went to one of their live wrestling shows actually. I got to take a photo with Ashek and Joe Anderson, I believe his name was.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a whole new experience, and actually going to the wrestling show that's in the 27th of November where Striker is performing as his professional name Kaitoa. So
Yeah.
I'll get to see him there.
Awesome. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole new experience.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said,
Yeah,
I would go professional if I wanted to, but I love doing this.
yeah. I was actually about to ask you if you would consider going pro, but I guess
Like,
there was an answer.
like I said, I would,
Hmm.
but I enjoy doing this. I've done like Resurrection. They do live events in front of crowds, and that was an experience the first time I ever did that because it was in a big gymnasium at a church over in Memphis, and I was just like wild like at that because I never like wrestled in something, and all the people there watching, it was crazy. You got to get obviously used to it,
Hmm.
stepping in front of a crowd, but that was an experience for sure. And that's what I recommend to everybody that's in backyard. Do some kind of like you know backyard indie show to get like that experience if you actually like kind of do want to go professional with it.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just like there's more freedom to backyard wrestling than there is in the indies.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I completely understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about actually now that we talk about people like Jack Delta and Captain Law who travel to multiple wrestling federations all around America.
Yeah.
Is there any place or any federation that you would consider going to or been really wanting to go to lately?
I've been looking at some. There's some out there like ROEW. I would love to go to Michigan to do that. Talk to Jason all the time. Good people. But
Mm.
there is one close to us. It's in Alabama. AWL. If they ever had the means, I'll message them. They'll be interesting. ADT and all them guys.
Yeah.
I believe they're working with ROEW right now. Uh,
Yeah.
I would say I know a big top thing for everybody's ESW. I mean, that would be obviously awesome to do. Trying to think, NEW wrestling. I think they're in Massachusetts. Uh, they're pretty cool people. I'm trying to think of other people. Um, that's all I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, I would love to do that if I could ever venture
Mm.
out. I've been to a few places. I only like some places I've been to have been good. Like some I've showed up to, nobody's like felt like welcomed, or it was just it was all right. But that was a long drive up there. But besides that, Resurrection has treated everybody with respect. The first ever traveling experience I had was going to EBW in Sweetwater, Tennessee. It's about 3 hours from us. That was back when we first started. I don't know if you heard of Lake Lewis and Cruz Lewis, Ryan Baker.
I've heard of them.
They had their own federation before they did end up joining TBW. It was called Extreme Backyard Wrestling, which everybody pretty much uses that name. But that was a great experience with them guys. And if they ever did a reunion show, I'd definitely be a part of that. Went to KPW. I've been there. That was close to Ohio. It was a good experience just wrestling on the ground. It was a bit it was fun, but it was just it was just the grass is tall. But besides that, all right. Trying to think of where else I've wrestled at. UWA, wrestled. It's just right down the road from me. Did PWF. That was here at my place. But TBW is always my home. I'll always say that because me and Josh started it back in 2017. I never expected it to ever get anywhere. Honestly, we didn't even think it'd make it past the first few episodes. But then at first, everybody at our school was, going crazy about it. And then it finally, like I said, it took off in the pandemic around that time, 2020. I guess people were inside, staying at home because of COVID. But then we really started taking the production very seriously and what we do today. So it's a good experience, and I enjoy where I've been and what I've done.
Yeah, it does sound like a whole journey that pretty much every backyard wrestler would want to go through.
Yeah.
But you've mentioned that TBW is your home. It'll always be your home. But let's say besides TBW, what is your favorite federation to work for?
Well, if I'm not currently working for anyone else, but I would say the second one that I've been to that's been good is, I would say, Resurrection. I had the honor to main event their not their last indie show, but the one before that. I won the welterweight title. I faced Vinny Vince and Rage, world champion, who was the welterweight champion in the main event, and I won it off of him. I was in the Revenge Rumble. Them guys are awesome. What they do, very talented. I would say that's my second home is Resurrection. If I could pick anywhere else that would be third on the list, I've been that I've sort of liked, it would be UWA. But besides that, that's pretty much it. Like I said, Resurrection's a good place to work, and they're great people and how they treat their performers and everything. It's like a real business there.
Yeah. They got everything properly working over there.
Yeah. And I love how they do those venue shows with fans there. I don't know if you've watched them before, but you go check that out on their channel, Resurrection Wrestling. It's very interesting. They get
I'll definitely check them out. I'll keep it in mind. But so obviously you are the current TBW Hardcore champion, and you're a Grand Slam champion for TBW. And from what I've been hearing, I believe you've also won a couple other titles in different federations. Well, let's say if there's any other backyard federation world title, mid-card title, any title that you would want to go for, what would it be?
Let's think of the top thing that I would like to go for.
Yeah.
If I had the opportunity back when I was a part of that federation, I would have liked to become the UW World Heavyweight Champion. There, if I ever had the chance to go to Michigan, it would be the ROEW World Title. I would help Jason Storm probably get the title back. I'm trying to think of any other titles that I really would
Add to your collection.
the Resurrection Hardcore title, possibly. I would show Dustin Alexander, whoever's the champion there. I'm the real hardcore champion. Let's see. I don't know. There's a lot out there. One that doesn't exist no more that would be pretty cool. The Maximus Roman EBW. Their title. When they were fed. There was another fed called WWA. It was in Ohio. I would have loved to win a title there. ACW. Derek Destroyer won one of their titles. Even the BTW, RJS, and them, possibly their world title or continental title. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, my next goal, I'll just leave that question for you. If I ever had an opportunity for another title, that would be probably the TBW World Heavyweight title. I would love to become a 6-time world champion if that could ever happen. And like I said, I'm gonna finish the story, but the story is on my terms now. It's not the people's terms. So yeah, because they wanted to call me a failure for weeks, but now on my terms, I'm actually gonna finish the story.
Yeah. You did prove your point that you're willing to finish the story by winning the hardcore title. So
this is just another chapter. This is just the beginning.
Another chapter. That's just the beginning.
People like Gage Flair want to call it a pamphlet, like a book. Like, I'm not trying to be like Cody Rhodes. That wasn't intentional. I know people want to say that they want to compare me to that, all that, but it's totally different. The thing is, I came back. It wasn't even in the thing to finish the story, honestly. It was just I made it clear on the Rampage after I returned that I was going to go for the TBW World Heavyweight title. I was unsuccessful at Vendetta, but that's not where it ended. I have many more opportunities to go for that title. And when I get my hands back on that opportunity, I will do what I did with this title, and I will win it. So whoever's champion by that time, whether it's still Ledger or Gage Flair, Russell Cooper, or maybe Jay Wild, whoever it is, just know that title will be mine. It'll be right here on my shoulder, around my waist. I'll be a double champion for sake right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the main goal. TBW World Heavyweight Champion, and I want to become a 6-time
world champion. All right. Well, obviously you want to become a 6-time world champion. So let's talk about the previous times that you've won the world champion. So currently you're a 5-time TBW world champion. How well did all those title reigns go for?
Oh. I'd say the first time I won it was back in season 1. It was against Fat Asian and this kid named El Bulldog. It was at Scars and Stripes 2017. It was like a ladder match, I believe. I ended up winning there. Then, like 2 episodes later, I ended up losing it due to outside interference. El Diablo and Redneck Mayhem took the strap. I'd say the second time I won it, that was a pretty impressive run, I would say. It was like a best of 5 or 7 series or something with Buzzsaw Billy, who's now in UWA. then I ended up losing it at that season finale of season 1 to Joshua Allen. But then he got cashed in on by his brother. And I'll say my next world title reign, it was sometime in like season 3. It didn't last long. I can't even remember that time. But then the next time after that, it was I think there was actually 2 there. One is season 2, one is season 3. And then the end of season 4 is when I had a big moment. I was Mr. Gold in the Vault. I held the briefcase because I won that at Stars and Stripes 2020. Yeah. I beat like other people in a ladder match. It's like Money in the Bank. I cashed in on Little Mike. I basically like achieved a big moment right there. I mean, the industry was really formed there with Beast and J.K. Howell at that time. But we ended the show season 4 finale, and then come season 5, they weren't a part of the industry no more due to him leaving for UWA. But besides that, that was, that has to be probably my favorite title win right there of my run. That world title, because it was just a great moment, I think, for me, honestly. Yeah, that's the history right there. Lesson of my world title wins right there. 5-time. I've never won a world title anywhere else.
Only in TBW?
Yeah, only in TBW.
So if you did become a 6-time TBW world champion, would you want this title reign to be the best one that you've ever had?
I would say yes. I would definitely prove it better than the last time. I would, be a defending champion at every pay-per-view there is. But like I said, people's gonna have to earn it. Let's say I don't think I would be having no like 700-day reign like Ledger's on. But it would definitely be up there. I believe I might need some help, honestly, keep that title around me. But yeah, I definitely think it'd be better than the last one. Which that one lasted. It was from November 2020 to I think it was like July 2021. Yeah, that was my last world title reign. But the only time I've ever been back into the world title picture scene was this April when I was at Vendetta. But if I ever get back there, I mean, that'll be awesome.
Okay. Well, obviously, I'm going to talk to you about your name. Now, obviously, it's called Atomic Titan. How did you get the name?
Well, let me think.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I believe me and Josh came up with that. I wanted it to be something. I know it kind of don't make sense, honestly, a little bit. It was kind of I was kind of like in a mask when I first started wrestling. That was more of like a superhero name, sort of, because I was in a mask. People couldn't see my face, but I wanted to be something strong. Titan is something powerful. I'm obviously not a small. I'm not like 7 foot tall. Titan makes sense for that, but Atomic Titan, it means greatness. Great, powerful. Just whatever. My character. You know what I mean. All of that. So, but me and Josh did come up with it. I believe he helped me back when we first started. I honestly kind of cannot remember how it all came to be, but I just went with it. We're all thinking of names, so
yeah, fair enough.
Something unique, I guess you could say. I could have used like my real name or something, but
yeah,
at that time, I've just stuck. I've thought about changing it, but I'm not going to. I'm way too far into it.
Yeah, just keeping it as it is.
Yeah. people out there that do change their ring names, but I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, fair enough. Now, obviously, someone's in the live, and that is Mermaid Messiah. Hey guys, I forgot where I've met one of you in chat and sub lol.
I don't know. Maybe probably you.
Aussie accent, that's probably why. I don't recognize who that is either.
How many people are on this? Is there anybody?
There is currently 3 people watching this live.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll share it around after this.
Okay, sweet. But obviously I know you're a busy guy. I know you got business to take care of with that hardcore title. So I'm gonna end it here.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ask you one more thing, and that is what is next for Atomic Titan and his hardcore title reign?
This title will be with me for as long as it can be. It will be with me forever. Like I said, there's nobody in TBW or anywhere that's going to take it off of me. The next thing to expect is me going into season finale or whatever it may be and keeping this championship going into season 8. Yeah, season 8. And I'm going to keep proving that I am the best in TBW, that I am Mr. Hardcore. And now that I'm no longer a failure, I'm gonna prove the people wrong and that I'm actually gonna win every single time and just make people mad and piss them off and keep doing what I'm doing. So you might be able to look out on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you follow me, YouTube. Go subscribe to Tennessee Backyard Wrestling. It's where you'll see me every single week on the program. Look forward to the next Rampage. It's going to be a huge one. Huge announcement coming. I'm not teasing anything though. It involves a championship, but besides that, look forward to what I'm going into at season finale. It could be up against anybody for this. Whoever wants it, could be Joe Anderson, Jacob Young, Manny Cobra, any of them. Whoever wants it, come and get it. But you're gonna die trying. So I've enjoyed being on here. Thank you.
Of course, man. Anytime. I've been wanting to get you on for a while.
I'll better come back on here once again, maybe in the future. I will probably be on Sports Wire soon in the next week or so. Hope you tune into that. But
I'm definitely gonna be there.
This has been a pleasure. Thank you for the respect, because not many people now in backyard here, like especially like people like Joshua Allen and Xavier, do not give respect.
I mean, of course, man. I mean, you won the hardcore title, so I got to show you some respect.
Thank you.
But you're welcome. So that's it, everyone, for Atomic Titans interview on the Wide Up podcast. Make sure you go check him out on Instagram, and make sure you go check out Tennessee Backyard Wrestling on YouTube and Instagram. And while we're here, I might as well announce the next guest for the Wide Up podcast. And this one's going to be different because I have faced him before, and that is Asura. I will be having Asura on the Wired Up podcast for the first time, and we will be talking about our match at Fight Night. We will be talking about how we got into backyard wrestling and talking about his journey so far in basically BW and BWDU so far. So stay tuned, everyone, for episode 13 of the Wired Up podcast. But until then, Atomic Titan, everyone that's watching, everyone take care. Have a good Halloween and happy Halloween. Till then, everyone, stay tuned and take care.